Hello and welcome to today's episode of Filling the Gap, your one-stop shop for Pacers Gap Year coverage. I am your host, Andrew Schreiner, and today we are breaking down the Pacers' 116-101 home win against the Oklahoma City Thunder in their second preseason game. Now that win pushes them to 2-0 in the preseason, which may not really matter too much, but I do think it's always better to win than to lose. Winning becomes a habit. It also showcases their depth, and tonight especially so because there were heavy rotations. There were a number of players missing for both sides. Oklahoma City played without really all of their big names, their top 6 or 7 guys. O.K.C. Wallace is probably their best starter. He did start in the finals against the Pacers last year, but all their other big names were actually not even there tonight. They left them at home in Oklahoma City. Now, the Pacers played without Pascal Siakam, Andrew Nembhard, and Aaron Nesmith, who didn't play just for rest and to protect them from injury. And then TJ McConnell, Cam Jones, and Ben Shepherd were out with injuries. And so their starting lineup tonight looked a little different from their first game against the Timberwolves. They started with newcomer Cameron Payne, who just arrived on October 9th at the 1. Benedict Mathern at the 2, Jarris Walker 3, Obi Toppin at the 4, and Isaiah Jackson started once again at center. And so for tonight's recap, I just wanted to focus on the positions of interest. That's really what we're focusing on in preseason. Who's going to get minutes? Who's going to look good? What will the opening night lineup look like? And the two main positions of interest right now are point guard and center. Who's going to be the starting center? What's that rotation going to look like? And who will be, with McConnell's injury, the backup point guard behind Andrew Nembhard? So let's start there. Cam Payne, like I said, he got the start, even though he just arrived this week. He played 19 minutes, and in those 19 minutes, he sure looked like a guy who they just signed 2 days ago. He had 0 points, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. He really didn't make a lot of noise. It was easy to forget he was out there at times, which was disappointing, but also to be expected. He's had very little time to get to know these guys. There was one play in particular where he just looked completely out of sync with Jay Huff. But I do think the fact that he started is telling. It tells me that they, meaning the coaching staff, trusts him more than Quentin Jackson and Ray J. Dennis already, even just after a couple of days, which does make sense. He's a experienced veteran that they've obviously brought in thinking they need that experience at the point guard position. Now, Quentin Jackson did look really good. He had 14 points, he had 2 assists, and only 1 turnover. He was active, he was playing fast, he was playing in the system, he made some tough shots, but he only played 11 minutes because he left the game with a hamstring injury, which is really disappointing. We'll hope, of course, that is less severe than the hamstring injury TJ McConnell suffered that will keep him out for at least a month. Ray J. Dennis came in after that, and he looked pretty good, okay, I guess. His stat line is okay. He had 11 points, he had 3 assists in 17 minutes. He made some threes, but he had 5 turnovers, and this goes back to what I was saying, or adds to what I was saying in our previous episode. I just don't think the offense looks great when he is running the point. And so if Quentin Jackson's hamstring injury is severe, and you are looking at a point guard setup of Nembhard, Cam Payne, and Ray J. Dennis as the sort of emergency third point guard, I do not like the look of that. We'll have to hope Cam Jones can come back quickly. Then at center, Isaiah Jackson, like I said, he got the start. He played 11 minutes, and in those minutes, I thought he continued to look rusty. He didn't have the foul trouble he did in the first matchup, but he only had 3 points. Those were on the same play. He had a nice and one. It was a good finish. 3 rebounds. And he had 1 assist, which was a good pass. Talon Peter made a nice cut. We'll talk more about him later. And Quentin Jackson found him. But generally, I just didn't think he looked very into the flow of the game. I'd like to see more. It's understandable, though, coming back from the Achilles injury. Now, Jay Huff, he also struggled to produce in the first half. But he was able to draw some fouls with some good rim running. He was getting into good positions and setting up his teammates and getting fouls. But he really dominated the third quarter. He looked really good. He finished the game with 8 points and he had 3 blocks. He looked better than Isaiah Jackson on the whole, though he had some struggles with foul trouble. He had 5 fouls in the game. Now, James Wiseman came in and played the whole fourth quarter. He looked really good. He had 10 and 5. He shot 4 for 4 from the field and 2 for 2 from the line. He did not miss a shot he took. And he and Huff were admittedly playing against smaller defenders near the bottom of Oklahoma City's depth chart. But during that time, they did what they had to do, which was dominate. They looked really strong in the second half, and that's 18 points from the center spot, which is pretty good in a half. Now, Tony Bradley, he had 5 minutes of run in the first half due to Huff's foul trouble. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He looked fine, but the way he's being utilized continues to suggest to me that he is on the outs for the center rotation. And then one final point, not a position of competition or note, but shout out to Talon Peter and to the Pacers scouting department for seeing what apparently no one else saw. He played 27 minutes tonight and looked really good. His stat line, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He made 4 threes. He had 2 steals and only 1 turnover while having some ball handling duties in those 27 minutes. But in addition to that, he made some nice hustle plays. One of those steals he got back. He missed a shot in the corner, chased down the fast break, and got a steal. He took a charge. He continues to look like he belongs on an NBA floor. Now, I don't think he's going to beat out Walker, Furphy, Shepard, and Cam Jones for minutes on the wing. But I do now, I'm starting to expect that he will get some regular season action if and when injuries occur to those 4 who are sort of ahead of him on the wing. One other game note before we close it out. Johnny Furphy looked pretty good. He put up another poster dunk. He's quickly becoming Obi's rival for the Pacers' best dunker, but he left the game with a sprained ankle. We'll have to hope that that is not severe and that he was kept out just for precautionary reasons, and that hopefully we'll see him on Monday or at least by Friday for the Pacers' final preseason game, because I do think these are important minutes for Johnny Furphy to get some game action. So thank you for watching today's episode. We'll be back on Monday with a recap of the Pacers' preseason matchup against San Antonio. Wemby's in town for the first time. So please like, subscribe, and share this episode with your Pacer fan friends. And this time let me know in the comments who you think should start at center for the Pacers come October 23rd, opening night for the Pacers. We'll see you next time.